Hello everyone, welcome to Krishna's online lectures. In this video of engineering mechanics, I'm going to discuss about mathematical conditions of trusses and frames. So let's start the lesson. In previous lesson, I have discussed about the basic concepts of trusses in frame as well as different types of frame. And in this category, I have discussed about three types of trusses in frame. It was perfect truss, over rigid truss and collapsible truss. And these three types of truss are based on one equation. So perfect truss we generally defined by equation m equals to 2j minus 3. Over rigid truss we generally define by m is greater than 2j minus 3, and collapsible truss we define by this equation m is less than 2j minus 3, where m represent number of members in a frame or truss and j represent number of joints in truss. How we can define number of members and number of joint in truss? So for example, here we have this diagram. So here you can see these straight lines. So these straight lines are representing number of members, and here these members are joined end to end. Every end of the member is joined by another member with the help of different joining method. So this joining point is represent the joint and it is represented by J, and the straight line is defining the member M. So here we can say this member should be defined in the form of straight line, and here this joining end of each member are defined as a joint. So by this way we can define members and the joints in particular truss or frame. So here we have this particular diagram where number of members are joined by different joining method, and here each joint we will define by J, and every member should be defined by a straight line. So here we have how many number of members? So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here we have 7 number of members, and similarly we will define number of joints. So here we have joint. So joint we are defining by J1. So this is our first joint. J2 this is our second joint. J3 this is our third joint. J4 this is our fourth joint, and J5 this is our fifth joint. So here m equals to 7 and j equals to 5. So with the help of these equation, m in place of m we will put 7, in place of j we will put 5, and if LHS is equals to RHS, in that condition that truss is defined as a perfect truss. Similarly, we can define over rigid truss if number of members, if this m value is greater than 2j minus 3, if we are putting this j equals to 5 here, so that particular truss will be over rigid truss. Similarly, we will put value of m and j here, and if m is less than 2j minus 3, in that condition that truss will be collapsible truss, and most preferable truss we will consider as a perfect truss. Now here few points you have to remember. As I told you about the member, and that member should be two force member or two-way force member. So that member should be subjected by some force, and that force we will consider because of external loading. So first you need to remember this point. If any frame or truss is subjected to external loading, so that external loading we will consider at the joints only. That external load we will not consider over the member. That external load should be applicable at different joints. So this point you have to remember, and that external loading generally cause deformation. So to avoid deformation we use frame. So that deformation is restricted by these members or assembly of member. So that external loading is distributed over different members in the form of tensile load or compressive load. So if this point here, this particular point, and at this point if we are considering external loading P, so this P is distributed over different member which are joined together, and at each member we will consider tensile loading or compressive loading. So this tensile loading we will consider on each member from two sides. Like these two joints we are considering on one member. So if these joints are stretched by a force, so that will be tensile loading, and these joints are compressed by forces. Each joint, here two joints we will consider for each member. So at each joint, if this particular load is compressing this particular joint, so this loading will be compressible loading, and this particular loading will act actually over the member. It will not act perpendicular to the member or in inclined condition. These two conditions will not considerable over the member. Only axial loading we will consider over the member, and external loading will be at the joint. So axial loading along the member, and this particular axial loading will be the effect of external loading which is applicable on the frame. So here these points you have to remember. Now let's discuss mathematical condition. After that I will discuss about this external loading and the axial loading over the member. So here if we define perfect truss, so here we have this particular diagram which is representing perfect frame. So here we need to find out this particular frame is a perfect frame or not. So here we will apply this equation, m equals to 2j minus 3, where m is the member, j is the joint. So what you need to do, you just simply count the number of members and number of joints. You don't have to consider any external force or axial force which is acting on the member or external loading which is acting at the joint. You just need to find out number of members and number of joints only to define the perfect frame. So here we will count all the members. So here members will be, here we are counting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here we have 7 members, and joints 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is similar to previous diagram. So here m equals to 7, j equals to 5. So we will put these values here. So 7 equals to 2 into 5 minus 3. So it is 7. So here LHS equals to RHS. So this particular equation is satisfied. Here this particular equation is satisfied. So this frame should be perfect frame. By this way we can define perfect frame. Now next is over rigid frame. So for over rigid frame, we have equation m is greater than 2j minus 3. So here we will write equation m is greater than 2j minus 3. If number of members are more than 2j minus 3, in that condition, that frame should be over rigid frame. So here we will count all the members. So here members are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So here we have 12 members. So m equals to 12 I have written here. Now let's count the joint. So joint will be 1. Let's write down J1, J2. So here we have 7 joints. 1, 2, 7. So number of members are 12 and number of joints are 7. So here we will put m and j value in this equation. So this equation should be 12, and this 12 should be greater than 2 into 7 minus 3. So this 12 should be greater than 11. So here this equation is satisfied. So in that case, we can say this particular frame is a over rigid frame. Here number of members are more than 2j minus 3. So here we require 11 members, but we have 12 members. So one member is more here. That is why it is called over rigid frame. Now let's discuss third type of frame, that is collapsible frame. So in collapsible frame, as per the name, we can say this particular frame is not at all suitable. So here we will consider less member compared to required member. So here we will apply the condition m is less than 2j minus 3. So let's count the member. So straight line should be the member. So here we have 1, we have 8 members here, and after that we will count joint. So joint should be ends. So here we will count joint J1. So here we have how many joints? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So number of members are 8 and number of joints are 6. So here we will put these values here. So as per this equation, this 8 should be less than 2 into 6 minus 3. So this 8 is less than 9. So here we can say we required 9 members, but actually we have 8 members. So this particular frame is not at all suitable to avoid deformation because of external loading. So here we should have one more member. So here I'm adding one more member. So this member will avoid deformation against the external loading. So here we have less number of members compared to required member. That is why it is called collapsible frame. In over rigid frame, we have extra member. That is why it is called over rigid frame. And perfect frame, here we required exact number of member. So here m is equals to 2j minus 3. If this equation is satisfied, in that case, this particular frame is perfect frame. So this is the basic description of mathematical conditions of trusses and frame. Here, what you need to remember to define the different types of frames or trusses as per the mathematical condition, only 3 equation. M equals to 2j minus 3, m is greater than 2j minus 3, and m is less than 2j minus 3. So whatever condition we are getting after calculation of number of members and joint, that particular number of members and number of joints are defining the mathematical condition, or it is defining the different types of trusses. Now, two more points which you have to remember about the external loading. So external loading we will always consider at the joint, and member should be straight and it should be subjected by axial loading only, which is the effect of external load. Here external load we will not apply on any member. This particular external load is not at all applicable over the external member. For example, no external load or no load applicable perpendicular to this particular member or inclined to this member or in whatever condition. And one more point you need to remember, whatever member we are considering, that member should be straight. It should not be curved. It should not be wavy. It should be straight always. And to support this particular frame, we required different types of support to avoid deformation. So in next lesson, I will discuss different types of supports which is representing the reactions of this particular frame. Thank you so much for watching this video. You can rate, review and share this lesson with your friends and your known people. And if you want to watch more lessons related to mechanical engineering, please subscribe the channel.